Good morning. Welcome. I'm Richard.
I'm Paul.
And this show is called
Sunday Chat!
It's very early. How early is it, Paul?
It's about 8:30.
That's early for a Sunday morning to be bloody filming. I mean, I've just literally rolled out of bed.
You've had toast though.
We've had toast and some tea,
Tea.
and I might have a bowl of cereal. It's meant to be getting cold today,
What are you
Paul.
having a bowl of cereal for?
Oh, because I'm just that kind of person.
You'll have some more lockdown layers that you don't expect if you have a bowl of cereal.
Yes, I've already got plenty of lockdown layers. Layers of extra fat.
I noticed on my May tour I was a little bit jowly.
Well, you'll just have to stop bloody making cakes, Paul, won't you?
I made another cake.
Made another cake. Cake. Lockdown cakes.
What was this one?
Quarantine cakes.
We haven't had any yet. Banana, date and walnut.
Ooh.
Vegan banana, date
Vegan.
and walnut.
Lovely. So, yeah, quarantine fancies.
That sounds naughty.
Quarantine fancies.
What
Fancy
are those things they used to get with the
French-
coloured icing?
French fancies.
French fancies.
Mr. Kipling's French fancies, I'm sure you can still get them.
Yeah, that was like Sunday afternoon tea in our house. We'd have sandwiches, meat paste and fish paste sandwiches, and sort of salad, and then there'd be a one of those fancies or an almond slice thing.
You see, we would have those kind of treats on a Friday.
Why?
On a Friday, because they would do the shopping.
But Friday.
Mum and Dad would do the shopping on a Thursday or a Friday. Well, very often Mum on her own, actually. I think we'd have them on a Thursday or a Friday, I can't quite remember. And we'd have hot dogs.
Really?
Hot dogs, and we'd be allowed to have a cake, like a French fancy or a cherry bakewell.
Yeah, cherry bakewell.
Yes.
Oh, all those little jam tarts. Do you remember those?
And for those of you who don't know what cherry bakewells are, Bakewell tarts are named after a place called Bakewell in Derbyshire.
But I think you'll have a lot of complaints about that.
Why?
Well, because cherry bakewells and bakewell tarts are different things.
Yeah, I know, but Bakewell is a place in Derbyshire where
It is.
Bakewell tarts come from.
Yeah, but not cherry bakewells.
Well, the Bakewell ingredient is the almond
yeah,
whatever.
but it's more yellowy, isn't it?
They're totally
They
different
don't
things.
have icing.
But Mr. Kipling is a brand that makes cakes for the masses.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
the pop of cakes, aren't they?
Was there a Mr. Kipling?
No, I don't think so. Was there?
I assume there mostly was a Mr. Kipling.
Well, he makes exceedingly good cakes.
Oh yeah, that was the strapline.
That's
wasn't
right,
it?
it was. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Talk of cakes is making me feel fatter by the second.
I used to like the Co-op jam tarts. I really like all the Woolworths jam tarts.
Yeah, shut
were
up now.
lovely as well.
I'm warm. I thought it was meant to be freezing cold temperatures this morning.
No, tomorrow morning. I told you yesterday when you weren't listening.
Well,
to
I
me.
wish it would hurry up.
Have you got your menopause?
No, I'm just hot. It's sat next to you, this body of heat.
Radiating heat.
Yeah, you are, literally.
I checked my temperature the other day.
Did you? With what? The oven temperature gauge? Because that's the only temperature thing we've
I
got.
stuck my tongue on it. It was 37.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that meant to be the body temperature?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm sure it is. Anyway, who cares?
You're wafting that.
Well, good. It'll cool you down and stop you heating me up. Honestly. That's why we have a super king size bed. So we don't have to touch at all during the night or be enveloped in each other's body heat. Because I can't stand that. I can't stand I can't stand being close to somebody in bed. Well, to you, because it's been 27 years. And I don't like being breathed on either.
You were snoring last night.
Good. Shows I'm alive.
We used to have a bed, and because I know I'm overweight, but I used to weigh an awful lot more.
Yeah.
And when I was on the mattress, everything sort of gravitated to me, didn't it?
Yeah, you were like a black hole. Nobody could escape your gravity, Paul. Not even light itself, and certainly not a Cherry Bakewell.
Oh, those are the days.
Yeah, the cats used to fall into his pool of gravity and get trapped for days. Anyway, let's move on. What are we talking about, Paul?
I've been missing cats lately.
So have I. We had a cat in the house. It was very sweet. She jumped down and she was outside on the windowsill. And I said, "Hello, little catty." And there was a gap in the window where the window was open. And I was talking to her and I thought, I just got to say hello and give her a squidge. So I opened the front door. And I said, "Hello." And she came in, she forced herself in. and walked in the house. I was quite nervous. I didn't want this strange cat to pee anywhere.
Quite rambunctious she was.
And you were cooking. And I managed to sort of lift her, and she was quite happy to be lifted and carried. So she's clearly a cat from a family.
Yeah.
And I gave her a squidge and a kiss, and she had a little bit of a nasty cut on her neck, which, you know, cats fight. You know, this is what happens, especially moggies that go outside. So I took her outside to the back garden and she stayed with me for a while having cuddles, and then she went away. I've seen her before. She is in the neighbourhood. She's not a stray. If she was a stray, I'd have kidnapped her.
One of the allotment holders' cats came and sat on the onion bed yesterday while I was working.
Lovely.
Flattening the onions.
Oh, wow.
But looked very, very happy, so yeah. That was all right.
Good.
We've got quite a lot of cats, but
now,
they don't really sort of come onto the plots that
moving
much.
on swiftly.
I think because of the fox, Fenella is so, you know, it's her site. So, yeah.
Anyway, as we've said, the weather has been absolutely glorious. Sun rays shining down, burning your leathery skin.
I put sun cream on.
You can't tell.
I put sun cream on.
Have
I got on?
But you always go brown. You've got brown skin. I don't go brown.
You don't go in the sun.
No, and that's good because I want to stay looking 39 for as long as possible.
Another 10 minutes then. Yeah.
But what tends to happen, and I said this on my vlog, people get a false sense of security. Don't forget, or remember, we're still in lockdown. There is still the danger of getting COVID-19 and dying. You know, people don't seem to have got this into their heads. So, you know, I don't care what the government says. I ain't going nowhere where there's people.
Peoply.
I'm not doing it. And VE Day seemed to be an excuse for people to get drunk and just completely forget social distancing. We both witnessed it. Well, so, you know, and basically, sunshine does that to people. It brings people out. It gives people that sense of being carefree and not worrying about things. And no, we've got a pandemic to worry about. For God's sake.
Well, we had a VE Day celebration on our road, and I went to the allotment during it, and I have to say people were social distancing. There was sort of there were cakes. No, when I was there, just shut up for a minute. When I was there, they were all social distancing, and there was sort of cakes set out on tables, and you could take a cake or drink or whatever, and that was all fine. Everyone was sort of keeping away and in their family groups. When I came back several hours later, there were people on another road neighbours sitting next to each other and chatting. I mean next to each other, I don't mean 2 metres away or more. And I just thought, and these people, I'm sure, are going to be clapping for carers on Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Hypocrites.
I mean, why bother,
But would you go and take one of those cakes? One of those COVID cakes?
No.
No, neither would I.
No,
absolutely
I'm sure
vile.
they were absolutely
But what if
fine.
somebody's coughed on them as they're carrying them?
Well, yeah, you could say that about anything.
You
really.
don't know, Paul.
You could say that about my banana, date and walnut cake as well.
Yes, but that's
Who knows
us.
if I sneezed on it?
Yes, but that's us.
Oh, right.
We're in
okay.
the same household.
I thought I might be able to have the whole
I
cake.
don't want somebody's Corona bakery. I really don't. Thank you very much. Anyway, let's get on with talking about things today. So it is meant to be getting cool as winter. It is breezy.
Yeah.
Breezy, breezy.
And the sky is that sort of pale whitey watery blue.
Hazy.
Yeah,
It's
pale
called
white
hazy.
watery blue. I was being more descriptive.
Yeah, but then when there's one word you can use.
The sun is out though, so
sky
after
is blue.
this I'm going to be going down to the plot and doing a quick bit of work. But I'm definitely going to be fleecing this evening because where our temperature yesterday was saying that in the early hours of Monday morning it's going to be 2 or 3 degrees.
Hello. There has actually been a small break in proceedings because the bloody camera did the same thing again. It reset itself. I have absolutely no bloody idea why it's doing this, but it's rather annoying. It's second week in a row it's done that.
It is second week in a row.
I mean, look, I'm not going to start harping on about, we need to get a new camera.
No,
Not going to start doing that.
We can use our phone and our tablet.
We would use other means of doing it, but what I was going to say is the camera, I mean, it's getting on.
You're going to have to look online to see if there's a fix or something.
It's getting on.
Yeah, I know. You said that.
We've had it for a few years and it's been well used.
It has. It has.
Very well used.
Very well used. So where were we? What were we talking about?
Well,
the weather and fleecing. That's what we were talking about.
Fleecing the doodahs.
So yeah, when I looked on the weather app a few days ago, it did say that it was going to get down to about 2 or 3 degrees on Monday evening and Tuesday evening, or Monday morning, early Tuesday morning. When I looked this morning, it now says it's going to be -1. So, yeah, I'm going to be earthing up the potatoes as far as I can, covering them in fleece, and I'm also going to be covering the bench things in fleece outside. And then inside, I've taken all the lids, the propagator lids, off things, but I'm going to be putting them back on over the next few days, because we certainly, after the germination of the tomatoes, because we now have good germination of tomatoes, which need to be potted on. I'll be doing that maybe later, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, we don't want to lose those. And I've also noticed that a cucumber has started germinating as well.
Are you doing the usual type of cucumbers you do each year, Paul?
No, these are supposed to not have so many seeds.
And not so much of a thick skin. Because those spiny, spiky ones with the thick skin and loads of horrible seeds.
Yeah, I'm doing those.
I didn't like those ones, Paul.
You ate them. I could have done, and I will make a note for next year to do some greenhouse cucumbers in the polytunnel, because the greenhouse ones are the ones that we actually buy in most supermarkets. They're greenhouse cucumbers, where the other cucumbers that we generally grow have the little sort of pinpricks and ridges on them. So yeah, Dad used to be great at growing cucumbers and melons.
What do you think his secret was?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would have been useful to have found out, wouldn't it?
Dad had a great greenhouse. It wasn't that big. I think it was 12 by 10. Well, in fact, it was 12 by 10. And it had concrete blocks as a path down the middle. And I really think that helped because those concrete blocks absorbed a lot of heat during the daytime and would release that heat during the night to keep everything a little bit warmer. So yeah, but God, damn, the cucumber. I think he used to do 6 cucumber and 4 melon plants, and those cucumber plants just delivered.
Lovely.
And he used to. Well, the tomatoes were in there as well, and there's this thing though, tomatoes and cucumbers don't like being grown together, a lot of people say. Never found that myself. I think they've always done just as well together or apart.
And whilst you are down at the plot pool, I'll probably be in my sweatshop.
Yes!
My sewing sweatshop.
Have you got a sewing name?
Stitch Bitch.
Stitch Bitch. Fantastic.
Slay.
Stitch Bitch.
God, that's been decided already. I think you were fine.
I haven't watched that video.
No, that's the name that Vivi christened me
Oh,
with.
yes.
In one of the posts on Planet Vegetaria. That's Planet Vegetaria, a Facebook group by Richard and Paul. Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual. Anyway, yeah, I will be sewing.
You're doing really well.
I'm loving it! Loving it! I am. No, I am. I really, really bloody am. Those are the sounds of joy, Paul.
I'm not used to you making those noises.
The sounds of joy and fun and shouting.
No, haven't really known those for 26 years, though.
26 years?
Yeah.
What, was there a small window of joy then when we first met?
Yes, there was.
Well, that's normal. That's completely normal, Paul. Yes.
But you're out there just going...
Oh, I should just throw the sewing machine away and just use you in the future. Thread some cotton through your mouth.
Put what is it? Janome.
Janome. She's my new best friend now. I love her. No, I mean, I don't find it easy, I have to say. And I don't find it easy to be precise and careful because doing detailed stuff slowly is not my thing. I like quick.
Bish bash bosh.
I'm impatient. So you do find, I think, in life that you acquire these hobbies to almost teach you something. And this is kind of teaching me to be really patient and careful and slow with these things.
Caring and loving?
Caring and loving?
Yeah, is it teaching you that?
What does that mean? If I want something to look nice, yeah, you've got to be caring about it. You've got to put care into it and just take your time and learn how to control things. Control that fabric. So yeah, loving it.
And how are you finding the different fabric weights? Because the bag you made me a bag for the allotment, which is great because it's got a pocket for my phone, pocket for my notebook, and it's big enough to just put loads of stuff in. That was quite thick material, wasn't it? And then you've been doing those your little trousers and your little top in much thinner material.
If you want to know more about my sewing escapades, visit me on my mini vlogs on Planet Vegetaria. Yeah, every day. I talk about things like sewing on that every day on vlogs, daily vlogs, for your pleasure. I don't know. I've just been sewing things. Just sew.
Your phone case thing, that material was thicker, wasn't it?
I don't know really. Not thought about it.
Are you going to finish off the front door curtain?
Yeah. At some point.
Because then that will give you another bit of fabric, won't it?
It will.
You'll cut that
it will. There is
off.
quite a nice bit of fabric there for making something. But yeah, anyway, for more on that, as I've said, visit my mini vlogs.
What's your next thing?
Well, I'm going to do my phone case, but I'm going to make it out of denim. Yeah. But I'm not talking about that here. If you want to know more, go to the mini vlogs. Thank you very much. There we are. Lovely. Oh, it's quite warm.
No, it's not.
I'm warm.
Menopause. That's what it is.
Anyway, so, I mean, generally, we've been quite busy, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to, during these strange times, to learn how resilient you are. Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who aren't.
Yeah, and I think the important thing about being resilient is that you do stuff like crafting, like cooking, baking,
growing.
Yeah, I'm finding that actually we're quite resilient people.
Yeah.
You know, and yes, we have gone through periods of depression, periods of darkness, but this time I don't view it in that dark way. I've had moments where it's kind of got to me in terms of thinking about the people that have lost their lives and the families and all of that, and the people working on the front line, blah, 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 as everybody else has. But, you know, getting on with stuff and finding what keeps you in that sort of creative flow, or takes your mind away from day-to-day routine, I think is really important. And the sewing has done that for me.
Right, okay.
It's given me that sort of headspace away from thinking about ordinary stuff.
Yeah,
really. And for you, it's the allotment.
It is, yeah. And it's odd because I'm furloughed, I don't have that structure that you still have of work.
Yeah.
And I find that quite challenging. And I think if we didn't have our growing space, I would be finding this hugely challenging.
Yeah.
Which means that we do need to be thoughtful about people who don't have what we have and might be living in a very, very small flat without, with just a balcony or something.
But if you didn't have the growing space, you'd be doing the back garden.
I would be doing the back garden, but we have a growing space because we have the back garden.
Exactly.
So,
but I think if you didn't have a growing space or a garden, and you were with me, I would be encouraging you to find something else to do.
Yeah, I think I'd most probably be knitting or maybe writing. I mean, that's one of the things with this period, isn't it? Everyone has these wonderful dreams about writing a book or, becoming a scientist of, I don't know, whatever. Where actually you do what you can and you can learn new things. I mean, it's a bit like my beekeeping book. It's great that I'm learning things about beekeeping from my beekeeping book. It doesn't mean I have to go and be a beekeeper, but at least I know a bit more than I did before about beekeeping. But
I think we are probably the type of people that like to learn new things. I feel it's important to learn new things, even if you don't become a master at it, which, most of us don't, but sometimes you may have a flair for something which enables you to learn something more quickly. It's the taking part and challenging yourself to do stuff. You know, if you haven't got a challenge or a goal, what is that? Just sitting there eating cake?
Watching Britain's Got Talent.
Watching awful television.
Mm.
You know, from my perspective, I have to be doing something and challenging myself to achieve in some way, shape or form. And I don't consider myself particularly to be a high achiever at all. But I guess I like to give it a go.
Mm.
That's the thing. Give it a go. You know. Anyway.
Have I said I'm going to be doing a soil test?
A soil test? What, of the allotment?
Yes.
Oh, how lovely, Paul. How does that work? Is it a kit that you buy?
Yeah, I got a kit online, and the reason I'm doing it is because some of what we're growing in the compost that we got from the Ealing riding stables isn't growing. And I know it's not down to fertilisers or things like that because it's been weed killers and things, because it's been tested. So what I'm going to do is test nitrogen levels and potassium and pH and all of that. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I haven't done that for years. We used to do it at school with proper test tubes and things. But yeah, I haven't done it for years. In fact, the last time I did it was with Dad. Last time was with Dad. Yeah.
Lovely. So you're going to be doing that to find out whether there's a problem with your soil.
Yeah, because there's a lot of wood chip and small chunks of wood, and I'm wondering whether that is extracting nitrogen.
Okay.
So I'm looking at adding nitrogen if that is the case, which I'll do by soaking chicken manure pellets and then diluting that and watering everything.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good.
I will see what happens.
Lovely. Sorry.
Were you falling asleep? Was I boring
With
you?
my eyes open. We were going to talk about television, but we've not really watched anything of value as such. We are re-watching The Golden Girls.
We are.
And while we were watching it, we kind of realised that we have become the same age as The Golden Girls now. So we should do our own series, The Golden Boys. No, I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think so.
That will consist of eating cheesecake and things
Ice cream.
in the middle of the night, which I don't think we can afford to do.
They did get a chocolate cake out of the fridge yesterday in an episode we watched.
They put it back though.
It was...
They put it back.
It just looked fantastic.
So
It did.
yeah, we haven't really been watching that much because we have been kind of busy doing other things. you
Yeah,
know, which
yeah.
is great, which is actually preferable to sitting down and just watching TV.
Yeah, we haven't watched anything really, have we? We haven't
No.
continued with Lock and Key,
No,
and we've still not watched that second episode of The Pale Horse.
I'm not terribly enthusiastic about that lock and key thing. But one thing to mention, it is National Vegetarian Week next week. Is that for this nation then?
Yes.
Yes, rather than international.
On international.
Lovely, so watch out for things being shared on our Facebook group Planet Vegetaria to do with things like that. Vegetarian things.
So it starts tomorrow
Lovely.
for a week.
Great, super duper. And yes, I think that's probably it, Paul, for today.
It's been a bit jibbly-jubbly this one, hasn't it?
Simply because we've had a few technology issues. So we're keeping it short and sweet, lest it should all go tits up again.
Yeah. No, don't want that at all.
No, because we're getting tired now.
Because it was 8:30 when we started this, and now it's 3:30 in the afternoon.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. But it must be knocking on about 10 o'clock now. Anyway, there we are.
Yeah. So we're going to say goodbye now. We're keeping it short and sweet. Short and sweet. Lovely. So take care. Bye for now. We'll see you in the week for more mini vlogs. And we hope you're all very well. Bye for now.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you, bloody thank you.
Bienvenue.
Bienvenue. Au revoir.